This is one of the reasons why I'm optimistic in the long term about our prospects. It's because the far right is so, like, innately unlikable. Does anyone else feel like, in a way, one of the reasons Trump has been able to survive politically as long as he has, and why he's been so popular, is because he's not actually anywhere near as personally odious as the people who he inspires through the politics that he surrounds himself with? Like, Donald Trump politically is monstrous, but personally, he just comes across as kind of a funny, stupid, dementia-addled, like rich A kind of guy. You know, like he's funny. He doesn't really have that like weird incel, contemptuous, insane bent to him that a lot of his supporters do. But all the people around him have that. Like, I'm not saying Trump isn't evil and off-putting. He is evil and off-putting, but he's nothing like Miller, Vance, any of them. You could do Johnson, Bennett, Carlson. Like, all of them are like grinning evil psychopaths, and Trump's just, he's just schmoovin. For the most part. So I feel like it really sways odds in our favor in the long run, because when I see stuff like this and like the levels of being always online and how much contempt you have to have for humanity and how little you care about life in general, it's just very bad politically. I don't think it works. Even the Nazis, for the most part, they did their rallying and their advocacy and their support building by promising people good things and talking about stuff like nostalgia, national glory. There were ideas there that were meant to be aspirational and morale building. It wasn't all just like evil, contemptuous incel shitposting or whatever the 1930s equivalent of that would have been. Most people just aren't that angry. It's not just being angry, because like righteous anger is anathema to these people. They don't know it. It's like a weird nihilism. Because I don't think these people are actually angry. Hold on, wait. Somebody link me this. It's literally the thing. The woman, the lady who said she voted for Zoran Mamdani. How many likes did this get? 250,000, 74 million views. Good Lord, lady. The fact that she didn't delete this. This is it, friends. This is where I come from. These are the fires in which my disgust was forged. The vacant stare, the Miss America smile, the trappings of middle-class conformist consumerism. Well, we're going to do the whole thing. The self-assured, momentary, tell me I'm pretty pose clashing with the lack of effort and self-presentation and the impatience of choosing an unflattering background. The smug, condescending delivery of the message, I have done what you warned me not to do. All of it completely irrelevant to the topic at hand, forced awkwardly in front of it, obscuring it, replacing it, upstaging it, or so she hopes. Standing between you and what matters, she says only, look at me. Look at the difficulty I've caused for you. Witness the joy that I can only derive from being your problem. This is not about politics. She doesn't understand them. She doesn't even think she knows better than you. She only knows that you can't tell her what to do. She doesn't even think she is it keeps going on. Yeah, it keeps going on. She doesn't even think she is power. She only knows that you have even less, and this is where she places her heart. When the bill for her foolishness comes due, oh, how her expression will change. No longer a bold and toothy smile, now a pouting bottom lip. No longer a triumphant hand in presentation of her own radiance, now a through-the-eyebrows scowl, arms folded. No longer an empowered, educated feminist, now a hapless princess in need. A real man pays the bill without asking. She offers nothing. She demands everything. She will never be held accountable for the destructiveness of her choices. She will be celebrated then as she is now, not for her contributions, but because where she is celebrated is where she will choose to be. She is the table, and the table is set, and she has placed her order, and all that now remains is waiting to be served. Gay and cringe. I should have scrolled down further, so after all that you could see what it was replying to. That makes no sense either. Oh, no. This is incoherent purple prose. But the point I was making, by the way, is that Donald Trump doesn't talk like this, Like, this is a level of derangement and, frankly, misogyny that is politically untenable. You can't really work with it. Yeah, no, this guy's a YouTuber. We've shown this guy on stream before. He's a YouTuber, Homath. He's a incel YouTuber that tries to, successfully, I'd say, appeal to like 12-year-olds with like crayon drawings. That's specifically, it's like, let me explain using crayon why this TikTok video of an unattractive woman being entitled is the root cause of Western civilization's decline. That kind of gist, you know? It's, you know, the a lady hating channel. It is kind of refreshing in this case, though, to be reminded of the fact that he's not like just grifting. He's actually himself insane. I think that's kind of cool, personally. You know, mostly the people who run these channels, they turn it off, they shut it down, and they go to their about their real life, and they're like kind of normal people. This guy, he believes the message, you know? He's trying his own product. Oh yeah. Oh, good lord. He keeps posting. Hello, insect people. Sorry, not people. Insectoids. Hello, is this the FBI? The Post. Mamdani is saving white women from white men. If I say anything, the thing is true. Incel, come, come, come. Common Core posting. Oh, man, he really does go on. Well, don't knock on the glass. You know, seriously. What an incel. Well, I'm making a point here, right? I mean, I think there's a valid point. Again, I don't think this is like politically salvageable. I think it's it's vile enough that you can't actually base a movement off of it. I think that the thing that makes Trump special is that he promotes this without actually being it, you know? I'll talk more about this in a bit, but Donald Trump had like a Great Gatsby themed party at Mar-a-Lago the other day while a bunch of Americans are going off SNAP benefits. And so obviously it's deeply evil, but it's evil in like a grandiose theater kid, you know, New York City rich guy kind of way. Roaring 20s, robber baron stuff. You know what I mean? It is, to put it in a way, human. It is human, right? Trump is very human. He's like the worst of humanity, right? He embodies a bunch of negative elements, but he is human. What I just read to you, I don't think this is particularly human. I apologize for using such a unscientific metric to make this assessment, but I think it's true. I really do. And you all understand, you know where I'm getting at with this, right? You understand the point that I'm making, which is that, you know, there is a relatability to Donald Trump's idiot, like child-brained vindictiveness and narcissism that you can see and be kind of charmed by even as he destroys the country. But you can't really do that with the incel misogynist crowd. And I don't think these people are good for their cause. I don't think they're good for their party. And I think it's funny, you know, it gives me a bit of hope for the future, because this just doesn't work. Didn't you say incels can never break through publicly because you can't make an in-group out of an out-group? Yeah. Well, I think it's kind of like a lot of young Republican staffers are neo-Nazis, right? And no matter how popular they get or how hard they try, they will never become the majority in the Republican Party. Because as much work as they think they've done, as much like ground as it may seem they've made in their insular online communities, an openly Nazi Republican Party would tank in popularity. And it will never not tank in popularity because people's like, you know, association with the Nazis, for one, is already pretty negative, like even for Republican voters. And for two, they're incapable of doing anything that would endear people to them, you know? Believe it or not, guys, people right now are less racist than they used to be, you know? People are less bigoted in many ways than they used to be. On average, it's true. Even for the bigots. Nowadays, the average racist Republican is like, well, my black Hispanic neighbor is cool, but they need to stop stealing our benefits. If you go back 150 years, like the average racist is unironically doing like no miscegenation, skull-shaped bullshit. You know what I mean? It used to be a lot worse. People are just much more active about it today. You know, people are a lot more schizophrenic about it, you know, but there's not as much KKK bullshit going on. It still happens, not implying that it doesn't, but there has been a shift. I don't think people can be motivated off of that and that alone as much. You have to actually try to motivate people with good policy. And these Nazis are never, ever going to do that because they have no policies that benefit people. They're working off of a dwindling, like ever decreasing portion of the American base who isn't fed up with their shit yet. You know, more polling come out on Trump today. I know it's slow moving, but every couple of months, his popularity ticks down even further. It's now at the lowest it's been during his second term and ever. The lowest of any president during this point in their second term. At least in modern history. So it's, I don't know, just gives me a bit of hope. These people are burning through unrecoverable political capital. They cannot reclaim it, or at least it's very unlikely that they can reclaim it. They certainly can't reclaim it easily, and they're burning through it quickly, and they need it. Anyone who thinks they don't need it, trust me, they do. This country is nowhere near at a point where public opinion has stopped mattering. I don't think any country has ever really reached that point. Sometimes public opinion matters less than it would in other cases, but I think that like in this country today, it still matters quite a bit. North Korea, if there was ever truly widespread dissatisfaction in North Korea that manifested aggressively enough, the Kim dynasty would be replaced by like a popular general. You know, the media would go dark for a day, and the next day, the general would say, you know, to restore the founding values of our nation, et cetera, et cetera. Shit like that used to happen more often than it does today, but it could happen. Really? Yeah, North Korea puts effort into PR. Like the people, it's the North Koreans are famously, you know, I don't like the term brainwashed, you know, they're propagandized too. But like there's a reason why they bother doing the propaganda. Like if that's the public opinion, right? Like that's the point of it, you know?